Welcome back, everyone. Day 4 for our Java programming training. Hope you're kind of getting into most important thing is practice, team. And for me, what I would want you all to focus is not just seeing, but repeating what we do in the class. Okay, so that's your biggest assignment to start. So I would love to start seeing programs being written at your end, slowly one after the other. Okay, everyone? All right, so what did we do yesterday? So I think we played around a little bit more with if statements. Did we? I don't think we did anything more there, but we did something called errors. Yes, so we know that when we declare a string, we cannot put a number into it, vice versa, or an integer or anything else. Directly, you're not able to put a string into it. So these become important for us to know how we change information when we change it. Okay. The next one here, I said if statement 2. What did I do here, team? Anyone with an idea? I don't think this was the old one. And then what did I do with the newer one? That's it. So what does it print for our clarity? We also went through debugging. We put our breakpoints in and we said, I want to pause the test at this time so I can evaluate how the execution is happening. Right, all? Earlier, we did print odd even numbers. Yesterday's session, we did a simple math calculator, extremely simple. And we said the purpose is calculates all 4 combinations of 2 numbers. We are given hard-coded data of 10, 5 each time out here, team. So this is an example. If I give 10 and a 5, I want outputs to be all these 4 combinations. And then I asked you a question, team. If it works for 10 and 5, does it mean my program is perfect? No, you need to try more sets of data. So that becomes essential as well. And that's a very critical aspect of programming. We might write a program today that might not run tomorrow because of some error that may come. So we need to be smart about thinking of, hey, where it can go wrong, when it can go wrong. Okay, so we'll come to that also. What did we do here? As simple as this, declared 3 variables, A and B are my inputs. Then I have a D. Right now I'm saying D is double because I might divide it. I might do a few things on it. Still, I'm not getting the exact values. We'll come to that. But more importantly, team, what we're doing is a simple print. So let's right click and run as. And these are the values that we're getting, which we want to improve further. I know that A divided by is 0. Sorry, A divided by B is not 0.0. And why are we getting this value? We need to rectify that today. Fibonacci sequence. Now, this was an important one where we said all basically, did I write the logic here? First numbers are 0 and 1. Next number is the sum of previous 2 numbers. And team, if you look as I write my code, I don't like my code to go in a horizontal scroll like this, in a horizontal scroll. So more and more, if I want to write, I would take it into the next line and keep it everything in one line if possible. Okay, so let's just save them. We didn't do much of changes on these. Let's look at this logic once, everyone, so we know what we're doing. Shall we come to the Fibonacci sequence after we do? Actually, let me just read this logic and then come to the next levels on the same. Like I said, the first 2 numbers are 0 and a 1. That's a given. That's our basic input at the moment. Integer z will be the next number. So this becomes my third number. Okay. So Fibonacci number is 0, Fibonacci number is 1, and this will be the first two. Okay, so these are the two first ones. Then I put everything into a for loop and I said, let's print the top 30 Fibonacci numbers. What are we doing? We want to print value of Z. Z is nothing but X plus Y. We will add the first two numbers, 0 plus 1, that will become Z. Right, everyone? So I will say X plus Y equals Z, and I'll print that the Fibonacci number is Z. Once I'm done with it, X will now have the value of Y and Z will have the value of, Y will have the value of Z. That becomes very important, team, for us. So how we are putting the values, exchanging. So I take the value of Y and put it into X. I take the value of Z and put it into Y. When I repeat it, what will my X be the next time? Can someone tell me? First time it is 0 and 1. In the next iteration, Y was 1 and Z was 1. So X will be 1 and Y will be 1. And in the next iteration, so when I talk about iteration, when we go through each loop in the for loop, okay, Java gives us two strong features that we have evaluated so far. The first is more of a if statement, where I have a bunch of lines of code here and a bunch of lines of code here. Only one of this will get executed, never both of them. That is called a condition. So only this or this, not both together. Then we created something called as a for loop. How is this different? Even this has a bunch of steps that we want to execute, and these get executed a certain number of times, X times or 10 times or 100 times or a million times and so on. So that is the basic difference. In a if statement, we're saying, is my option A or B? In the for loop, we are saying, how many times should I repeat this? And that's your major difference. Any programming language, you will notice that this become the building blocks team. So let me save this. I'll create this diagrams also and keep it handy for you. This PC, C drive, training, Java for Kids September, and here I'll just start putting them here, team. This is if and for. All right. I'm trying to spend time on these concepts as much as we can so we get a good control of whatever we do, team. Only then we should keep going forward. Let us say you're stuck at any point, then spend a little bit more time practice, catch up on the weekend, try and get this completed because in 2 weeks we'll be all good. Shall we try and run the Fibonacci sequence for the top 30 numbers? So we all know, right, the way Fibonacci sequence works. Once again, anyone who has a doubt about this, not a doubt, but a question as to what it is, let's make it clear. Starts with 0 and 1. What is 0 plus 1? That becomes 1. What is 1 plus 1? That becomes 2. What is 1 plus 2? That becomes 3. 2 plus 3, 5. 3 plus 5, 8. 5 plus 8, 13. I'm not giving enough spaces, team. I apologize for that. Primarily, these are becoming your numbers. But look at it slowly. If I put it in a chart, okay, and I put not an x-axis, but on the y-axis. This is my y-axis, this is my x-axis. A 0 here, a 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. So I start with 0, okay, then I go till 1, and I'm still at 1 for the next time. Then I come till 2, then I'm going to 3, then I'm going to 5, and then suddenly I'll go to 8 and 13. So this is gonna be very how do you say this? Exponentially increasing line. 8 plus 13, let us do it manually and see how many can we do, everyone. Okay, help me, let's do manually. A lot about programming and coding team is also to focus. First, let us try and do the machine work. Then we can teach the machine. 8 plus 13, 21. 21 plus 13, 34. 34 plus 21, 55, which is a very special number for me. And then 89. Oh, wow, I'm getting tired. And that is where I know it follows a pattern. So let's run this and see for the first 10 numbers, okay? First 10. See, I can change nicely out here and be able to get. That's nice. Actually, we've got till 89. That's what we did till. Let's do 20 numbers. See, it's still under 100. The first 10 Fibonacci numbers are under 100. How about once we go to 20 and run, and they're a little over 10,000. From a 3-digit, it has gone to a 5-digit. Now, if I make it 30 and I do a control F11, which is a shortcut for run. So if I go to run team and say run as Java application, Alt Shift X also is a key for executing it. I was using control F11. I'm sorry. Now, I don't know which is this number or which is this number and so on. Let's make a version of this and call this as 02. And I want a improvement on it. So this is our Fibonacci sequence. So it always starts with your program 1 being the first version. Then you make some changes to it, and then you get a program 2, and then some more changes, and program 3, and some more changes. What we are talking about is the fact of adding new features to a program. Imagine an application like WhatsApp if it was written in Java as a programming language. I'm not sure what it is written on. It's a lot more mobile application native based. The first version would have only had single chat, one-on-one user chat. Maybe they added group chat in the next version. Then they added voice chat, and then they added video chat, and so on. So these features can get added as and when you know. No product comes with, okay, this is the end. They always come with the initial versions and keep increasing, keep improving. So when it comes to our own Java programming, we will do the same. Sometimes there are small defects also that we will remove between these versions, but mainly we focus on enhancements, adding new features. Now, one of the requirement or feature that I think will really help us out here when I look at it is which number is what? Is this the first Fibonacci number or the 10th or the 25th or what? How can I do that? Now, there was a question in the chat from some of the members. I'll just answer this. I have defined an integer k here. Is that correct, team? Which is primarily used for the for loop. And that is my counter. I can also call this as my counter. Then I have to change this to my counter. And wherever it comes as my counter. Did k appear anywhere else within that for loop so far, team? That I have to change? It is not there anywhere else. Now, if I try and print here, order number, and then plus k, which is no longer there, and replace this with my counter, that is fine. But that was optional so far. So what does that mean? This value of k earlier or my counter now is only a counter. It is not mandatory for me that I have to use that counter inside somewhere. But at least it should know that it will use that to keep on counting. So now what will happen? Order number, my counter. So if I run this, oops, there is an error, team. See, we'll have to fix this error before we run it. Let me save. Where is it? We're here, correct. Where is the error? We'll figure it out. Yes, we can replace any letter or character for my counter. It can be A, B, C, D, my counter, rows, columns, however you want it. So that is our names, even these variables out here. As we keep going, we will start giving more descriptive names to it. Now, what happens, team? Actually, this should have been assignment 03 only, Fibonacci 02. Always remember, this is important one for us, that the name of my Java class and the name of the class inside the main class must be the same. It cannot be two different ones. So this, if I correct it to 02, that error will now disappear. And if I run it, I will see all this coming. Order number is 26, Fibonacci number is so and so, blah, blah, blah. Can I get a little bit more better on this and print both of these on one lines? Sure, possible. I can say print here and print line here. See, instead of print line, ln, I'm going to come to system.out.print and explain this today, team. But let's just do system.out.print. So here, let's put 3 more dots. So it's easy to differentiate. Now you see. Order number 25, 30, Fibonacci number is so and so. So what did we do here, team? Okay. System.out.print, then system.out.println. What are these commands? What do they do for us? Why are we using them? Now, when I say system, all of these have some implicit specific meanings inside Java. Okay, so what am I doing? New class J08 underscore sys out in. I'm going to cover both of them in this, so you'll understand. So when I say system dot, notice the different things that you are able to do out here, team. When we working with any computer, how does it show information back to us? Okay, let me explain this to you. Why is this guy so slow? Alt F8. What was it drawing? Project code versions rather. And a project is nothing but lot of code series, different code files put together that work in synchronicity. System.out.println. Okay. So look at it, team. The first, where is it paint gone? Okay, here. Any human is interacting with a computer using a keyboard, a mouse, and a UI display. Yes, no team, correct? Now, out of these, tell me what are the inputs that we give using, what do we use to provide inputs to the computer? You are seeing three portions. One, two part, third part, three parts. What do we use as human inputs? I want everyone to give me an answer, please. Exactly. We use keyboard and a mouse. Keyboard and a mouse are the ways that we provide inputs for how our program should look. What do we want to send in an email? How do we, whatever we want to do on our web. Whatever we are doing, how do we know if we are doing it correct or not? It will show up in your display. Let us say you'd entered an incorrect password. I'm giving a very simple example, team. Focus on my voice. You are on a banking application. You entered your username, or your gmail.com. You entered your email address. You entered a wrong password. Which was the problem of input? Where was the input problem coming from? Which part caused the problem? You wrote an incorrect password. So which portion, part, component among this 1, 2, 3? The keyboard, exactly. Now let us say you put the right email, right password, but instead of clicking on sign in, you clicked on forgot password. Then again you'll get on your UI on your screen some other page. Why? Because you used your key mouse with to control it. Understood? So some of the simplest input devices for us are a keyboard and a mouse. And then an output device can be a screen like a GUI, graphical user interface. Also, sometimes you can get printout, blah, 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 right? So there are different ways we may want the output to come. Now, this concept is clear for you. So this is basically how we use human to PC IO. Remember this word IO, team. What does IO stand for? From my point of view now, IO means what, everyone? Input, output. Okay, the world, everything that we see around you'll change the perspective when we start looking at everything is an input and an output based thing. Now, this has become one input output in Java. Okay, let's go specifically to. Sorry, I'm taking time to explain the concept, but this is an important concept, team. Within Java, when we write a program, Java, okay, where am I writing a Java program? In my Eclipse IDE. All right, I'm not the best of the painters or drawers, team. So I have a Java. I'm going to write it here. My input is my .java program. Correct, everyone? That is my input, or basically what I'm writing. Now, where is my output coming? Where am I seeing if it is giving me the right content and so on the screen? And for that output, I am saying system.out output, shortcut for output, out dot print a line, and this print line will print into this console box out here. So if I run any of these on command prompts, I will see some similar outputs also coming up for us, which says, okay, you know what, this is coming. But that's my output as well, team. So I use this System.out. So when I say system on my machine, that is the command we are giving. And slowly as we use them, we will master them. Okay. When I say System.out dot print ln and say this is a new line and a semicolon at the end, and I'm gonna put another line. Okay, System.out.println, this is second new line. Now is this a correct code, everyone? Let's run it if we are not sure, but only 4 lines. Class name is correct, does not seem to be having any syntax error, otherwise it would have shown red. Everything correct. Can you make any suggestions or improvements? I really want to reward anyone who would. Yes, Rupa, you're right. Who else? Okay, Kavita. Yes, Saujanya. By yes, I'm saying you're right. Okay, all I'm saying, team, this separation here with the tab where I'm nicely aligning it is not mandatory from Java's perspective. Java is very free flowing. It'll also in fact let you write the code in the same line. You don't have to write it into new line, but you need to write very elegant looking code, please. Okay, it has to give it, it should be presentable and readable for others, not just for you. It should not look like your handwriting. It should look like a printed textbook. Now, when I run this, what will happen here? Now, if I run this and say this is third new line, will it give an empty line in between? I'm putting one empty line. Will it give an empty line in between in the printout here? I'm trying to get all your learning so far nicely acclimatized, team. Will it print 4 lines? First line, second line, blank, and third line? No, it will ignore any blank lines, team. For Java, it does not care what is line 7. You put 100 there or none there, does not matter. You can use it to separate your code for better look. Now, why is it that I'm showing you this? Okay, print is done. Now look, system.out.print. Print line will print into a new line, team, Println. When I say print, look at the third line. Any difference do you see? Did you notice any difference from the previous output to this output? Yes or no? No difference. Why? But let us say if I do the same print line here from println to print and keep this and rerun this code, now you will notice. So this basically prints in the, okay, I'll write it here. Println prints and goes to a new line. Print only prints. Is that clear? Okay, concepts are coming. You have to start learning. Don't bother. Let it be there. If you understand the basic concepts, it's enough. Slowly, we'll keep practicing on them. Now, a lot of things I want you to do, team. Assignment After this, for loop practice, you should do printed tree. You should do for sure. We'll come to this. All right. So now, did you know any question on this? Print will only print it in the same line. Now, these are all output. What is an output? What you write in the code will come out to the screen. Now, this will become an important document for us, team. What I was saying here, print statement. Okay, Java program and an output. In middle, I have my Java program, everyone. .java class, okay? This could be any one of those 10 programs that we wrote now. When we run this code, what happens? We get a nice looking output here in our console. Where is my Eclipse? Correct? In the console. I get my output. Now, your system.out.print is taking something from the code here and putting it into the console. From the code to the console. System.in dot 1 second, team. Are you all able to hear me okay? Sorry, okay. System.in, I wanted to erase this for a second, will help us to put something into the Java program before its execution. So far, we've been only focusing on this portion, okay? How these two are linked. I write a program, it gives the output. Now I'm saying I will put inputs into it. What do I mean by it? So this is done. Let's say capture a number from a user. How do I do that? So for this, we use a concept called as a scanner team, okay? I'll just write 2 lines of code, remember it, and we will keep reusing. Okay, and we are taking inputs from a keyboard. So I'll call this as my keyboard equals new scanner system.in and end of this. And I need to do one more thing, which is import. Take your mouse over scanner and say import scanner from Java IO, which I don't see. So util scanner also is Java util. There you go. I'll explain this thing. What I just imported and what this is. Give me a second, please, with your chat messages. If you've joined this webinar for the first time, obviously it'll be hard to follow. Just stay quiet, peaceful, relax. Don't be in a hungry mode always. I will guide you in a few minutes, okay? So we're talking about system.input and I want to collect an input from a user team. So I'll say that is in my number. And this will now come from what I said here called my keyboard dot next int. And I just say so the number is plus my num. Now let me explain this code, everyone, what I tried out here to achieve. Okay. I'm sure till line 11 there's no issue. The new code is starting here. When we are looking at a statement like this, or let us say if I say int z equals or int z and say z equals 123, There is a value called 1, 2, 3 on the right side that is going into Z. As soon as I say that, Java prepares a memory location in the program, gives that location with the name Z and puts 1, 2, 3 in it. Whenever you call Z, it will return this value to it. That is how we are using variables, right, everyone? So in this, what we are trying to do, for example, in my math calculator, all the numbers are here. Every time I have to change, I have to go and change it here and rerun it. What if I can ask the user to enter those values for me? That is what we're trying to achieve now. So for this, instead of hard coding, by hard coding, what I mean, values are preset into the program and don't seem to change ever. Not truly a variable. Okay, it's not varying, more steady, it's more constant. But I want my programs to work for many situations. So that is where I would love to use. This is hard coding. The value of Z is put in my program. The value of my number is not there yet. It has to be collected from the user when it comes for that point. Okay, now you see. It'll be so easy to understand this now. Okay. So if I run this program, it should basically print this, print this, print this, print this, print this, 5 print statements. Correct, everyone? Let's see what happens. Save this, right click and run as. I'm going to take a break in 2-3 minutes, team, and take any questions that you may have. So this is the new line. This is the third new line. And then I don't see anything else. What is it saying? If I go here and enter 2, 3, 4, do you see this? That value has gone into this specific section. So the program paused for us on this specific line to collect the input from us. The way this works is when I take a variable, I said Z is there and 1, 2, 3, you'll get the value. For a something called as an object, we have to give lot more information. Okay, so it is just not a name and a value. So if you have to send someone's name, email address, phone number, not yeah, phone number, physical address, all those details, you need to send a file at that time, team. So you cannot just send one document and say, okay, everything is in here. And those are OOPS and object concepts we will get to in another 4-5 sessions, not yet. When we get there, I'll explain what this means. Scanner, my keyboard, new scanner, System.in. But for now, all that you need to know is that this is a simple line of code that we will use whenever I want to collect an input from a user. And the user should be able to then do this way. Next int. Similar to this, I can also write for collecting a string. So I can say scanner, I'll say ABC. I can give whatever name I want him equals new scanner. So think of it like I said, a variable is a single data information that you'll send, like a name will give phone number and so on. An object will have like a file combination, lot of more details for it. Is it getting very technical, team? Don't worry. Just couple more features, then we will show you. So I'm saying ABC is a new scanner, and here I'll say string S1 equals ABC dot next string. Actually, next itself is correct. I don't need to give next string. Just next, and it'll take that. And then I can print S1. S1 is plus S1. Let's run this. Okay, so here it is waiting for my input team. See, we don't even know that it's waiting for the input. So what you should do is put a code here and say enter a number. And out here, I'll say enter a text. So these are informations that I'm providing. So I'm going to stop this test. See, it is still trying to execute. If I enter the information, it will do what it wants to do. Okay, and then I think it's trying to take text here. Clear. Erase all drawings. I wrote a little code. So I have numbers and I have string. We don't need this integer z. I was just showing you. And this is correct. Enter a text. Yep. Let's rerun. Control F11. Now it says enter a number. So here let's put a number, enter a text, and let us say I put and perfect. Now, does it mean the code works good? Not necessarily. And this is where I meant you should test. I'm going to run it again. And when it says enter a number, what happens if I enter a text? Did you see that, team? It has an issue. What is this issue, team? Is it a syntax error or is it a runtime error? I was talking about this in the initial sessions. Syntax error is your English is bad. You did not write the right grammar or spelling errors and so on. Runtime error is when we're running the program, it faced some other issue and it stopped. So that's a runtime error. Perfect. Now see, why is there a runtime error? I'm trying to put a text into a number and that's a problem for it. It cannot take those values. But I wanted to show you how we could do this in a quick way. Why did I do that, team? So I did this so that I can take maybe assignment to math calculator, make this as 2. Let's open this. Too many files open, team. Right click and close tabs to the left and just keeping the math calculator 2 open. Now see, in here, I love the purpose of what it is doing. It has 2 numbers already, right click, and I say run as Java application, and it'll go about executing it. But the input is not there with the user. Can we change it in a certain way so that the user enters this? Sure, why not? How do we do that? Let's take that code. I said scanner. I'll say scanner S1, okay? Equals new scanner system.in. And team, only certain amount of code you have to remember. Everything else we can Google easily all the time and search. For example, I would write Java, take keyboard input. Oopsie. Keyboard input. And it's beautiful across team. I love Stack Overflow a lot because humans like us, they have an issue. They put the problem similar to it. Maybe someone is giving advice. Someone is trying to get the scanner using java.io. I thought the same, but we're using a scanner class here. See, very simple. Scanner is keyboard, new scanner, enter an integer, int my int keyboard.nextInt. And for string, it is just scan.next. That's the difference for now. Okay. So more versions on it, but this is the base code that we were using as well. Now back to our code. And here, so here is where the issue came up, team, even last time. what happens in a very brief way, I'm going to explain this concept of jar libraries and files. I'll do that much more deeper later. Okay. Java is like a programming think of Java like a big container, not a big container, a big car. Okay. If you're going to a grocery store which is right next door, a mile away from where you live, you don't have to pack everything into your car with luggage and so on. If you're going for a 3-day vacation, then yes, of course, you have to pack and load your car with it. The same thing with Java. It will only take whatever it wants. It doesn't want to carry too much load. It wants to be efficient. So it says, I will only use what is needed. So scanner is something available, but it is not readily accessible to Java directly unless you say, I want to use scanner. So you take your mouse over it and we can just say import scanner, this Java util. Okay, java.utilities actually. So these are inbuilt libraries that we have, but like it's in our home. Your luggage is at the home, your entire backpack, cameras, electronics, everything are at home. But you'd only take what you want at any given time. And hence, now I need a scanner. I will use a scanner for this program. So we're trying to be efficient. Now, otherwise, we can keep importing everything and keep it ready for every program. It'll only slow it down. It is unnecessarily long. So we will use only what we need. What do I want here? Two numbers. So I'll say int a equals, so enter first number, I'll say. So enter the first number. Now see what I can do. If I don't print a new line, it may take that input in the same line. Let's see. And here, what do I do? Int a equals to s1 dot next int. Oh, I already defined integer a. So a equals to s1 dot next int. So where did I write the previous one? Here. This was the code that we did. So instead of my keyboard or anything, you can use very simple names also. S1 dot my next int. So this is no longer hard coded. So I can give whatever inputs I want. Now, similarly, I can say again a new scanner started up. Enter the second number. And I'll say this is scanner is S2. I think I need to charge my laptop. This number is S2 and S2 dot next int. No more hard coding this value because I know what I'll get. Okay, I have a double. We'll come to this double thing playing around a little later. But C equals to A plus B, A minus B, A by B, D. I don't have D. I'll just have C equals A by B and put C. So the only difference of this program from the previous program is that I am taking the inputs from the keyboard from the user instead of putting it directly in the code. So that way, even if I don't have the code visible in front of me, I should still be able to work. So here, let us say I enter 55 and then I enter, let us say 81. And then I get A plus B is 136 minus 26 multiplication by B is repeated twice. But at least I'm able to take inputs and give the outputs. Make sense, everyone? How we're trying to now collect inputs from the user and repeat them. I can do the same for Fibonacci sequence also. Now see. How do what input will go into a Fibonacci sequence? The only input is this my counter. How big should it go, right? So here What if I say, and say I'll use print, so it'll only take it from the same line. Enter the number of fib sequence wanted. Okay, and that is the statement. After that, scanner s equals new scanner, and but do I want to take inputs for both, or okay, first system.in, and then take your mouse over and say import scanner from Java util, and then say int count limit. See, that's my new variable. Int count limit equals s dot next int. And this counter that is there and it's saying it will go to 30, I will say count limit. When we come tomorrow, team, I'm going to show you while loops and how to use break statements to come out of these. I also wanted to show you functions, but maybe not today. Let's see, but let's run this. Now see, the difference that I did from the previous version is it already was set to always run for 10, 20, 30. We were changing it here. Now let this be a variable that I can give values. Control F11. So enter the number of fib sequence wanted. So I'll say 12 and it'll print up to 12. And I rerun this and I say 15 and it's going to print the top 15. Now I have a few exercises that I want to give. Tell me if a number is a Fibonacci number or not. I want you all to try this, team, at your end. Okay, and that is the first one. So what does that mean? I'll give you a number like 55. You should tell me if it's a Fibonacci number or not. But before that, the easier one is tell me if a number is odd or even. That is the other one. These two I want you to do offline, apart from practicing on what we are doing daily. Great. So please make sure you have access to this Java for Kids document. This link is also there on the go.itlearn.com Java for Kids /p/Java for Kids. I haven't put it here, but the sessions, the videos are here. So please start watching it out here, team. And let me put everything in the chat and let's take some questions, see how things are going with everyone, and we can go from there. 1 minute. Any questions, anyone? I'm sorry if I seem to have gone fast. I have only repeated a lot of what we were doing yesterday. We did not do anything complex or complicated, just trying to make things step by step better each day. I do see 1 or 2 hands raised. Can I get everyone to participate in them so I can go through the Q&A at the same time? Okay, sir, can you enter a number and an alphabet? What will happen? I think we saw that, for example, and that's a good way to ask ourselves those questions. So let's go to system out and in. So here it's saying enter number and enter a text. Let's run this program. And in enter number, let's say I say K123, it'll fail. Now the same thing if I do a proper number, but for the text, It does not matter whatever you enter for the text. It'll take it as is. All it does, it'll just add the double quotes around it, makes it into a string. What are the other questions? Today is the first day. Okay. So if it is the first day, you can catch up. We've done all this program so far, nothing much. Playing around, installing JDK and Eclipse. And we also put everything into Google document, whatever we're doing. So I'm not going to put anything that I'm not doing here, team. Yeah, this is good. I also want you to print a tree. Now, let's see. I'm going to quickly. Anis, do you have a question?
No.
All right. Your hand was raised. What is a Fibonacci number? A Fibonacci number has been explained in the previous session where, and I've also explained in the session, team. Come on, guys. One thing I hate, personally regret doing always is spoon feeding, where I make you sit down comfortably, put a tissue in your shirt, clean your hands, wash your hands, comb your hair, make sure you're smiling, and then say what a Fibonacci sequence is. Have some zeal, have some enthusiasm, have some challenge to discover. What have you been doing in the class so far? You've gone through everything and now you're asking me what a Fibonacci sequence is again? Is that laziness or you're not able to understand, please? I don't appreciate such things, team. If you're unable to put an effort to it, here is the answer. Listen to it very careful. You need to be more attentive, whoever has asked me that question next time. Who can answer for us what is Fibonacci sequence is? And don't ask a question to say that I wanted to just ask a question, so I asked. So, Mauna, there's so many of you who are ready to answer this. All right, let's see. Mauna, I'm muted. You have to unmute at your end. Vikasini, same for you. Saujanya, unmuted you. Anish, you didn't have any question. Your hand is still raised. Honey, unmuted you. If whoever's unmuted can ask a question now or a comment, please, whatever you have.
For the
I'll explain what printed is.
for the system.out.println.
I've unmuted so many of you. Why is no one speaking?
Sir, actually from now, Sojanya, this is my mom's account, so please call me Tejas.
Tejas, there are almost 100 people in this session.
Yeah, just
So it's
saying.
almost impossible for me. I know you've repeated this 4 times. It is not possible. I'll give you a recommendation. Go back to that page where you registered earlier. Register again using a different email and the right names. You'll be fine. You can use that to join.
Okay, thank you.
I want to tell what the Fibonacci series is.
Please, what's your name, please?
Ane.
Sorry?
Ane.
Ane, go ahead.
The Fibonacci sequence is a sequence which one number is added in the next number to get the next number in the sequence. So an example could be the numbers 3 and 5. You add 3 and 5 to get 8, the next number in the sequence.
Exactly. And then what would be there after 8 then?
It would be 8 plus 5, which is 13.
It'll be 5 plus 8, which will be 13. Correct. Exactly. So it goes in that incrementing order. Perfect. Anyone else wants to give it an answer? Very well explained.
Yes. Can I say it?
Yes, please.
So basically, so first you have 0, right? You add 0. What is the next number after 0? It is 1, right? So You have to add 0 plus 1 when you get it is 1. Right? Then the next number is like what did you get for 0 plus 1? It's 1, right? So you have to add 1 plus 1. When you get 1 plus 1, I mean 1 plus 2, you get 3. And then 3 plus 2, you get 5. 5 plus 3, you get 8. And then 8 plus 5, and then 13. It's like
Very
that.
nice. Very nice.
It's
Not
an easier way to like find out things.
Exactly. And it's not necessary that it is very significant for us in any specific way, but it is like something to challenge and see how can we use coding to do some simple data related stuff. Good answers. Very happy about it. So team, I had one exercise on printed tree. Let me explain what I mean. So I want you to think about your console and an output should come like this. It is not Fibonacci numbers, but it's 1, 3, 5, 7, kind of like that. That's a tree. So what we're doing here, this is 4, okay, 5, is, and then you'll have this. You're printing blank, 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 and a dot, and then blank, 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 blank. Then you're printing blank, 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 then dot, 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 blank, blank, blank. Then again blank, blank, dot, 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 blank, 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 and so on. So you primarily have X number of blanks, Y number of dots, and Z number of blanks in each one. And then it should only then look like, a tree like this. This is okay. The trunk will be easy at the end for us. So out of those 3 assignments, printed tree is what I mean by that. What else, team? Anyone has questions, please?
I have a question.
Yes, please go ahead.
So for the System.out.print ln, why was there like a plus s1 in front of the variable?
Sure, let me go to the code. Like for example here.
Yes.
Okay, sure. So think of it like 2 parts for our line 21. We're only focused on line 21. That's forget everything else. So this is my first part where I have a text and I want my sentence to start with S1 is followed by the value. Now, this part of it is always constant. It will not change. This one is the one that is varying. So I take a string and I add a number to it and it will give me a string output, which I can print. So to get a more friendly one, which says like this, S1 is blah, 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 neatly displayed. So this plus is used to join 2 strings or a string and a number together.
So
And to
if that
concatenate.
if the plus wasn't there, then how would the output be in your console?
If the, one second, if the plus was not there, you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, let's see. So it would first throw an error because it does not know. So this is fine. So I'll copy this line and I'll comment this. This was our old code. Now let's play around with this. So I don't have a plus. So it does not know what you're trying to do here. Number 1. Okay, so that's an issue. If I put plus or is S1 in here, this is possible also, correct? But when I run it, it does not know S1 is a variable. It'll take everything as is. So in a programming language, once you put anything in double quote, you cannot get the value out of it. Let me show you a simple example. Oh, we are here. 3, enter a text, blah, blah, blah. S1 is S1. So let's say.
I have like another question about this. Why can't we use like a minus symbol or a multiplication or division?
We are not playing with numbers only out here. Didn't you hear what I was saying at the beginning? That I have two portions in it. One is a text on this side of the plus, and it is a number on the other side. So they're two different things.
Yeah.
Plus, why weren't you there? Okay, let me show you in the Google Doc where I explain this in a very, very clear manner. Here you go. Plus on strings works as a concatenation. Plus on numbers works as an addition. Plus on string and integer works as appending or concatenation.
Okay.
So this has multiple purposes. The plus.
Yeah.
I'm not using that as an arithmetic operator at the moment. Did you understand?
Yes, I have another question. So I don't really understand what the scanner is really used for.
Were you there from the beginning of the session today?
Yes.
I explained it in the session. Why don't you watch through the video again and come back?
Okay.
And team, like I'm saying repeatedly once again, I will not do any amount of spoon feeding. I will take questions, but I want you all to put in that effort and come to me. Without putting in the effort, if you try and rely back and say, okay, Karthik will address, will answer, no. I want you to write the code. Now, can you be the presenter, whoever is speaking, and show me what all you have written so far on the programs? Who wants to show me, please, team, what you have written so far? What is it that you're practicing? Now, I've spoken about scanner, a system.in today. Go back right away once the video is there in about 3 hours. Repeat that, pause it, write the code. I keep getting the same questions. Are you going to post recordings of each class? I'll ignore those baby questions, please, because I keep addressing them too many times. Most important, let me give you the Google Doc link once again, so it'll be easy for you. Any further questions? I see one hand raised.
I have another question.
Go ahead.
So for the scanner, what is the difference?
I asked you a question before that. Did you do any of this program so far on your side? Hello? Are you there? Why? Why? Have you been attending the sessions?
Yes.
Then why have you not been practicing? How do you assume you will learn coding? How is it possible? How will you understand the concepts? Can you start to program, catch up with the code that we are doing out here, and then get to that? Now tell me your question, please. What is your question on the scanner?
So on the scanner, if you're going to put the value in your input, then and you're also if you're going to also put your value in the console, what is the difference?
What is the difference? It is the, okay, let us say you're going into a shopping mall, okay? And you're coming out of a shopping mall. Is there a difference in it or is it the same?
There's a difference.
Correct. So scanner is taking information or data from you and using it in the program. And System.out is then printing it out into the console, which is an output. I also drew a diagram for it, if I'm not wrong. And next time I would love to see more of practice, please, from everyone. And why is no one showing me any output? So I spoke about keyboard, I spoke about mouse, I spoke about display. Is that correct? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, 1 second. I also did this one. This is my Java program. Scanner takes input from a human, whatever we want to give, into the Java program. Java program does its bunch of activities. Whatever it wants, it'll bring it out into the console output. Tomorrow, you will see that, oh, I don't have to have data given by human. I can put it into a notepad like a text file or an XML file or an Excel sheet or a database, or it is there on a web application somewhere. All this could be my inputs that my application will take. Okay. And it doesn't have to always only write to console output, which is coming here. This is okay, existing limited, but rather it may want to put it into a printer printout or a HTML report or write to a database and so on. But the crux of it is I'm giving an input here. There is a whole process that is being done or a program that is getting executed, and I'm getting an output out here. That's my flow. So here I'm using a scanner.in, system.in for input, and here I'm using system.out. Did that answer your question? So I want to take inputs from the user, run a program, and give a result. Tomorrow
Yeah,
we're
that
going to
sense.
talk about functions and methods team. I'm going to explain more about this when it comes there. All right, let's see. I would like to share my screen. Is it Q&A? Yes. You can ask any questions if you want, please. I would want to focus on this. Lakshmi, I'm making a presenter in a second. Just made you presenter.
Yeah, hi Karthik.
Hello.
Yeah, I wrote a couple of programs. I would like you to have a look at it.
Very nice. Definitely. Go ahead, please.
Yeah,
And this is what I'm saying, team. I did not share this code with Lakshmi or anyone in the team. I have not done that. So it is just your effort of watching the videos and finishing it. So stay focused on that job, please. Yes, please.
Yeah, this is the Fibonacci numbers. This is the program which I wrote. First, I declared variables.
Yes.
The first two numbers, and then I took a for loop.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I run the code.
First 20 numbers.
First 20 I took.
Mm.
So this is what the output is.
Mm. Very nice. Very
Yeah,
neat looking code, Lakshmi. The way
thank
you
you.
give spaces and simple comments. No confusion when I see the code. It's very readable. Good job.
Yeah, thank you. And I think I did do.
And was it tough to look at the video, freeze it, and write the program?
No, it was
Okay.
fine. And I tried this. I'm not sure how far it is. Just a for loop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Is
just
I
printing.
printing till 30? Yeah, I is printing till 30, J is printing till 20.
Yeah,
So you have two for loops starting with 0, going up to 30, increments of 1.
yeah,
Correct?
yeah. Here I used a shortcut
Yes.
instead of j is equal to j plus 1.
Sure.
Yeah, and one more. Here I use this, I think, if statements. Mm,
Let me read this code. If x
yeah,
equals 30, y equals 43. If x equals y, x and y, there's no space after x and y, please, on line 16.
line 16. Okay.
Sorry, it's a small one, but I just thought I should let you know.
Yeah,
Same, x and y are different. Now there's an extra space there. X is less than y. Okay. Now 34, 43. So what should come? X and y are different, and it should say x is less than y. Is that correct?
yeah.
Very good. Can you change y to 30 and see on line 12?
Line 12. Okay,
Um, you can give space after x or don't give space after equals.
okay.
So let there be uniformity in what you're doing that way.
Yeah,
Now change the value of y to 34 and see your program will fail.
yeah, because
Is this correct?
no,
Where is it wrong?
it says x
Exactly.
greater than y.
So we need to use multiple if statements or if else a little bit,
Okay.
or to make it a little bit more correct, you can
Mm-hmm.
change line 29, x
Okay,
is greater than or equal to y.
okay.
Or in an easier way, I'll tell you, we can put another if within this if. Let me show you how. I'll just take two more minutes. Team, anyone else has question? Now is the time, please. Request keyboard and mouse control. Okay, here. So this statement, I will say if, so here I'm saying if x is less than y, then this. That means x is not less than y, correct? If x greater than y,
Okay,
then I will print this, okay?
okay.
X is greater than y. Else, here,
Okay, these are called nested if if
correct,
state.
but very, very inefficiently written for now. We will
Okay.
write it more efficiently as we do. Why am I not able to move? Okay, on system, Control C. Why am I not able to paste? Can you do a copy that line 30 and paste it there, please?
Yeah.
Now I'll say X is equal to Y in this case.
Equal to, okay.
Okay, see, now look. This may work as a code. Yeah, thank you for deleting. Perfect. Now, but it's not the most effective code, not a very pretty looking code at all. But
Yeah.
just it does its purpose. How do you think it'll do? Let us see. Is X less than Y? No. Then where will it go? It'll come here. Is X greater than Y? No. Then where else will it go? It'll come here. So now if I
Yes.
run this, it'll say X and Y are same. X is equal to Y. Now let's change this. Okay, oops, it's going. Can you make it 31, please? Y and run. Yeah, X and Y are different. X is greater than Y. So kind of getting there for you now.
Yeah.
So logic, and here is where the main difference comes, team. Everyone may be able to write a code that works, that, it works. But how do we make it more efficient, more and more is important. We'll work on cleaning up. But till then, don't worry about everything. Just write neat looking code that will run correctly. Okay. All right. Excellent. Thank
And
you.
I think scanners we can use here.
I'm sorry. Repeat that again.
We can use a scanner.
Oh, yes. To take inputs. Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's it for now.
All right. So team, I would love you all to do the same. Practice on what we're doing at your end, and anything that you're facing, show it to us. I'll see you back tomorrow, same time. That's maximum that I'm expecting. Repeat what we're doing in the live session and come up with specific questions showing your screen too. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Bye for now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.